Coach's Corner with Gray Yates in his third season as the head coach of the Cavaliers at Mount De Sales. Last year, 1-9, worst season in 30 years, but you knew going in that was going to be a youthful year. You knew you had a lot of kids that were inexperienced. I believe you had 9 freshmen who started a large chunk of time. So, I mean, you hate to say that was expected, but it was almost necessary. Is that a word perhaps better than expected? Was necessary?
I think that one probably makes me feel a little bit better than some of the other ones that I probably used while I was going through it, or while we were all going through it. It was, in a lot of ways, I've said we were a JV football team in a lot of ways last year. Even our seniors who graduated, except Lawton, did not have a lot of experience. They hadn't played a lot of snaps. And so we've got what we have now is a great group of seniors who are ready to kind of change the narrative of our program. And then you have talented juniors, sophomores, and even some freshmen that are ready to play and hopefully help us be a little more successful.
All right, and you've got a quarterback who's coming back, Xavier DeShazer, who started as a freshman. So he's back. He had 1,637 passing yards, 10 touchdown passes, ran for another 439. What does it mean for you to have him back? Is he kind of becoming the central point of your offense because of that year that he got last season, Coach?
He's the central point of our offense, but because he did it last year, because he got better, but also because he's never off. The young man started for us in basketball at times, in varsity, and started for us in baseball at times, but still every Saturday he's somewhere working, or he's somewhere with his receivers getting extra reps. And he's doing that by himself. And so as you start to talk about replacing Lawton, as all those guys have been with him all off season, and they're throwing every Saturday, or they're throwing in the week when there's time. So that his leadership in that has done that. We also should be able to run the ball with him more. We didn't have a backup last year. He was the only quarterback on the roster that we had. So every time he ran the football, I'm sitting there, saying Hail Marys every time of a different call. And he's so physical in the run game. He's now 200 pounds. And so we're probably going to let him run it a little bit more this year as well.
Walton Hall, so you mentioned the receiver who had 734 receiving yards for you last year, but you've got 8 starters back, so it should be an improvement from that 15 points per game on offense. In our next report with Coach Yates, we'll talk about the defense, which does have some experience for this upcoming season. We're back with Gray Yates in his third season as the head coach at Mount De Sales. The defense last year for the Cavaliers, not very good, 34.5 points per game allowed, but you have 9 starters back. And let's talk about the guys up front. You have a couple of linemen who obviously play on offensive line as well, but you sound like you feel good about what's up front. And, Coach, every person I speak with here in the Coach's Corner, they all talk about those guys up front. You got to have them, don't you?
Got to have them. And it's going to start for us with Carter Sparks, the defending heavyweight champion in the GIAA in wrestling. Even through our bad seasons, Carter's kind of been a bright spot. And some people come up to you and say, where there's 35, you got to watch out for him. There's some younger guys as well. Horace Sanford, CJ Story is another one who started a bunch of games. We have a freshman, Maurice Fletcher, or Maurice Hoskins. And then we have a sophomore named Bryson Fletcher, who are all really, really good young linemen who are physical and who can play on both sides of the ball. But we're really excited about all those guys on defense and what they're going to bring up front. At the linebacker, we'll go with Jackson Rowley. He was a sophomore. He'll be a junior this year, and had a great sophomore year. Was way up in the state in tackles up in there. So, and then a lot of senior leadership on the back end. Just getting, like you said, gave up a lot of points. But the difference when you go back and you watch film from this time last year when we're at 7-on-7 at Auburn versus what we're doing now, the guys are just so much more comfortable. They know what they're doing. And so hopefully you get to see some carryover into just getting better on that side of the ball with comfort and with those bigs who can take care of us.
Well, and that was my final question, basically. I mean, you have a 1-9 season you're coming off of. That's hard mentally to kind of prepare your kids. But did they see the light at the end of the tunnel? Were they seeing enough progress to kind of go into the all season that you can springboard this summer into the year?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had, and there's a lot of other exciting things about Mount De Sales. We have a new president starting, I believe his first day is today. And all the conversations are about supporting athletics and really, really focusing in. So our kids are feeling that, and that they really, really have a sense that, and this is our 64th football team, and we've kind of had the message to let's play 64 more years. What do you need to do as a Cavalier to make sure that this program, we have more football teams than most of our rival schools have graduating classes. And so, we really want to dive deep back into that history and sink kind of a new feeling into our school this year with our program. And I do think they're ready to do that. They've worked hard all off season, and they're working real hard right now this summer to kind of make sure that happens.
I look forward to seeing your progress. Gray, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Good luck this season.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate y'all.